Hello. Welcome to the Field of Streams, where I, your host, Janine McRae, bring you the tiny thoughts that stream from my brain and present them to you as though they're a compliment beanie that you wear every day, and whenever it senses you're feeling lowly or a bit dumpy, whispers things like, "You look nice today," or "That joke was pure champagne comedy," via its magical pom-pom to hype you back up. Supportive knitwear. Now, I can't promise you much with these head warmers, but I can promise you this. I won't keep you long. A promise like that deserves a follow, don't you think? Tap that follow button. Every time you do, a writer springs for an extra dumpling at their local takeout. Bit of a thinky one this week. A bit reflective. Let's talk about grief. Stay with me. It'll be worth it, trust me. I find grief to be the most slippery of emotions, and there are certain times when you think about someone's passing and you're expecting to, and there are other times when it just sneaks up on you. I don't want to say that I find grief fascinating, but I definitely find it worthy of examination. I wrote this back in February 2022, on the 3rd anniversary of my mum's passing, but it's not really about that. Weirdly, there was some sort of nerd brouhaha about the Marvel show WandaVision. You didn't see that turn coming, did you? But it was about a line the character Vision had said during an episode that really struck me. The line was this: "What is grief if not love persevering?" I can't remember exactly what all the fuss was about with the Marvel people, but I can tell you that line resonates with anyone who still feels the tug of the absence of someone as each year passes. Maybe the issue was not enough lasers or CGI or some bullshit like that. Who cares? It got me to thinking about stages of grief, I guess, and all the twisty little turns it takes and just how much power it manages to pack into its 5 Wordle-winning letters. It's one of those big little words. I think my overarching point with the piece was that grief, though painful and a total arseache, is also necessary. A gift. And a curse. And a gift. Let's get into it. I'll stop waffling. I invite you to sit back, relax, and allow me to read to you this short piece of my writing called "Grief is a Gift. Don't pretend it isn't there." Grief is a thief. It sneaks into our minds and robs us of joy. No, wait. We put our blame on grief when it should be death who bears the wrath of our anguished cries. It is to the doughy body of death that we should lay our rage fists. Grief is simply first on the scene, picking up clues and logging them into evidence. Don't get mad at grief. It is death who leaves fingerprints. Grief just applies the dust so you can see the crime. Grief is a troll. It pops up in our life feeds and says things to us that we don't want to hear. Remember when you did this to them? Remember when you didn't help them with that? Why were these the last words you spoke? Why weren't you kinder? Replayed interactions that cancel us. Too late now, says grief. I have the receipts. You will be forever playing grief whack-a-troll. The longer your life, the more worn your mallet. Grief will try to drown you. I say put on your best swim togs and start treading water. Let it soak you and get in your lungs. Let it muss your hair and clog up your ears as it moves through you. Let it dump you in the shore break foam. The experience will pull the sand from your beach, but the beach is still there. Yes, lifeguards are on beach patrol, but no one can save you from the churn, the undertow, the undertaker. When you're caught in the rip, swim sideways. Grief plays games. While it is a solid 5-letter starting word for Wordle, you will most likely get more than 6 goes at grief. 6 would be a blessing, but most of us know more than 6 people. You perhaps love them to different degrees, but the size of the pain is relative, and who's keeping score anyway? Grief is a constant reset, and there's always a new game, all squares are green. By winning, you will have lost. Grief is a gift. Hear me out. Grief gives us the gift of random access memory to granular love. To believe this, you must also accept that love is a broad term that encompasses both good and bad. And now, brace yourself, for I am about to quote a line from the Marvel universe. What is grief if not love persevering? This line is apparently controversial, though I can't for the life of me figure out why. I believe there is truth in it, and in that truth I find comfort. So what if you think it's too earnest and cheesy? Grief is cheese. It is love and all manifestations of how that love of that person, good, bad, or random, came out during your time together. It makes you sad. It makes you angry. It makes you cry in the shower and comfort eat. Grief is so cliche I could vomit. Own that vomit. Own your expression of your grief, even if it is unsightly and has a $50 cleanup fee. It is yours to witness. It is a gift. Wait, you say. How is the physical absence of a person and the stolen ability to hold them in our arms a gift? Wait, I say. In the emptiness of the arms is the fullness of the heart. The shape of them holds in your mind. The absence of is also the presence of. This is what it means to be human, to accept the invisible frailty of it. We'd prefer to live without death and its sidekick grief, sure, but living with it is what makes us whole. If you're in the middle of it right now, is there a middle? There seems to be no end. Reading this will seem dumb, small, insulting and hurtful even. Grief is the most awful experience, I know. But because of it, my heart is planet-sized and grief is gathered at the core of it. It is in my lava, along with all my other life lessons. The heat of this amalgamation forges my foundation. You can build cathedrals that'll last 10,000 years on this shit. Bullshit, says grief. You're so full of it. I suck. Oh, there it is again. You don't have to make room for grief. It just barges on in and makes space for itself whenever it pleases. It doesn't care what you've got on or if you've cleaned the kitchen. It just appears and puts its feet up on your poof and expects to be acknowledged and served without delay. We look at it, find it rude. It stirs up emotions inside of us and makes us look those emotions directly in the face. It makes us question who we are, who they were, and what we're going to do with that emotion. I agree it sucks, but it all must come out. Whether it comes out in some form in your art or simply refines the art of being you doesn't matter. But don't keep it in. It must be processed. Grief allows us to access our internal machinations. Draw on it. Access the raw. Make it mean something. Not the grief incident itself, that is your own, but retain the ability to tap into it and be real. To be in your emotion while not being a slave to it. Grief teaches us how to express, connect, and appreciate the brevity of life and that connection. And I guess I'm saying that's the gift. The realness of it makes us vulnerable, and through the vulnerability of our art and life, we can plug into the truth of ourselves. We write, we create, we fade away. People come, people go. We who are left behind will go too, and if we're lucky, we will have made enough of an impact, spiritually, creatively, or just livingly, that someone will mourn our passing. Today marks 3 years since Mum decided to go watch the cricket in another room, and I sure do miss her. She used to leave answering machine messages that began, "Hi, it's only me," and even though I saved none of those messages, I can still hear her saying that, clear as day, and grief gives me that. And there you have it, today's episode. I hope it wasn't too much of a downer. I was just thinking. Sometimes I think too much. I should stop. No, I should keep going. Anyway, I hope you'll come back for more episodes. These missives are designed to inspire creative folk to get out there and make something of their own. If you enjoyed what you heard, please follow the podcast so that you never miss an episode in the future, and sign up to read my writing at janemacrae.substack.com. But for now, dear listeners, I'll leave you with this. Love what you love, and I'll see you out there making stuff.